Hello YouTube, it's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Sorry, I'm in my little tank top here. But today we are talking 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, Season 5, Episode 4, Mad About What You Said. So we're just going to get on right into it. These couples, we have all the couples. All the couples were featured in this episode. And so we're just going to get into. First couple I want to talk is Kenny and Armando. So we know that Kenny and Armando are doing a trial run in Mexico City with Hannah. And, Kenny wants to move there. Armando's skeptical. This episode, Armando revealed that he is starting to like the bigger city, but he still has his suspicions. But he's been liking what he's seen for the first couple weeks that they've been there. And Kenny still is really adamant about moving. So in this episode, we met Armando's mom came to Mexico City, and they had mentioned that she had the one other time that she went to Mexico City, she somebody was about to snatch her purse or something, and she never went back, but she's back now to visit Kenny and Armando there. And they went out to dinner and everything, and then Armando had to spill the beans about how he's possibly moving to Mexico City. And when he did that, she just lost it. She just started crying. You already took Hannah away from me this far. You're trying to move far away. What's going on? And everything. And Armando had mentioned when he first came out that he felt he didn't get much love when they first came out. It took a long time for acceptance for both the mom and the father and everything. And Kenny had mentioned him and Armando's mom have come a long way, but now he fears that with this it might push him back again, and we may have go back and repeat some issues that we had with them before the wedding in terms of acceptance or whatever. So she's crying. He's just trying to plead his case and everything. We didn't get much resolution to that, though. So, I mean, in my opinion, it's just, I don't know. It's that one is a between them type thing. It's just not something I can really my opinion. I mean, my opinion don't really matter in this situation, but this particular case, it's really up to them. It's not what I feel they should do or what anybody else feels that they should do. This particular case is really up to them. They have to decide as a couple what's best for them and stuff and everything, and nothing else really matters. So yeah, that was Kenny and Armando. Next couple I want to talk is Holly and Wayne. So Holly and Wayne, Holly is with her mother in South Africa, and the big storyline is South Africa safe? South Africa is not all that safe, and so Wayne is is really protective. He's doing everything he can to make sure that Holly and her mom are safe there. This episode, they go to the store to do some clothes shopping, and Wayne said that he wanted Holly to dress a little bit better. Holly likes to wear dresses, short dresses, show sleeves, show some skin and everything. And Wayne doesn't like that. And she's mad at Wayne because he's being judgmental about that. But Wayne is saying, people are going to look at you like a piece of meat here. If you want to be safe in South Africa, you need to dress a little bit more conservatively. So he's at the store picking out dresses for her and everything. She's not really feeling anything he picked out, so she's picking her own thing. And then this guy had the nerve to say, "Big, you're going to look like a prostitute," and I don't like that word. And she started crying, and I would be too. I'm this is your fiance. I mean, he took back his words and stuff, but still, she's gonna do what she wants to do, and if something happens, then she'll learn. But let her wear what she wants. We're not doing this again this season. We did it last season on The Other Way with Nicole Mahout, with every time she showed a little bit of skin. like he had an issue with it. So we're not doing that. We're not doing that with this couple. We're not doing that this season. All right, we ain't doing that. So they go shopping and everything, and I mean that was basically it because again, no resolution to that, and it was just like I didn't like what he said to her. So yeah, that was Holly and Wayne. Sorry guys. Next couple I'm going to talk is Danielle and Johan. So let's welcome back Danielle and Johan. We first met Danielle and Johan on season 2 of Love in Paradise. Then they went to season 4 of The Other Way, and they loved them so much they decided to come back for season 5 of The Other Way. So Danielle and Johan at the tell-all, they basically almost basically broke up at the tell-all. Johan said when the lease is up, it's over because Danielle had brought the ex, her ex over here and flaunt him in front of Johan, and Johan didn't like that, and he was over it. But she said that they did get counseling and that they're doing a lot better than what they were during the time of the filming at the tell-all. So this episode, we got to see Danielle and Johan. They're in the Dominican Republic, out on the beach, living the beach life. Danielle has a really nice new look. She has longer hair now. She actually looks younger. She's in her early 40s. She looks younger, and she's just starting a new life and everything. This episode, she got her girlfriends from New York to come down to the DR to meet Johan and everything. She goes and picks him up at the airport. On her way to the airport, she nearly gets in a car wreck because she decides to go in front of a car that was it was literally just close to hitting her. I don't know how it did not hit her, but she decides to get in front of a car and be like, "I'm going, bro. Sorry." She's like that. She's like, "This is that New York in me." I'm like, well, it's that New York and you ain't gonna fly in the DR, so whatever. But anyway, she goes picks up her friends. This is the first time they got to meet Johan. She takes the friends back to the house to meet Johan, and they're fluent in Spanish too, so they could talk to Johan in Spanish and stuff. And they were like, "Oh, you're tall, you're good looking, blah blah blah, and everything. So what's the plan?" And then they get down to the nitty and talk the plan. Well, last season we seen Johan. He had he is a trainer, but he also had a butcher shop. And remember the scene when they went to the butcher shop and there was flies all over the meat and everything, and Danielle just freaked out and everything. Well, this episode they revealed that Johan's butcher shop is now closed, and that the owner or the landlord wanted his space back or whatever. So right now, Johan went from a trainer to a butcher shop to nothing. Danielle teaches classes online, yoga classes online and stuff, so she gets paid from that. But so right now, Johan is not working. But apparently, he had mentioned that he wants to start some kind of business with Danielle. Now, Danielle said that he's really not good at business. So whatever they decide, it's just gonna be. I hope Danielle learned her lesson from last season. I hope she's not as mean or as judgmental and harsh on him like she was last season, because that was my big issue with Danielle last season, with the way that she talks down to him, makes him feel like he's nothing and that she's superior to him and everything. So yeah, I hope they have a better season, but at least in their little opening of this season, right now they're a lot better than what they were at the tell-all. So yeah, that was Danielle and Johan. Next couple I want to talk is Brandon and Mary. So Brandon and Mary, they're live. He's in the Philippines now. He is about to spend his first night with Mary. Now, last week when he arrived to the Philippines, he really wasn't allowed to kiss her at the airport, but he did it anyway. And he got to meet the grandparents, and the grandfather asked him, "What did y'all do at the airport?" he was just like, we just said hi, how you doing, nice to see you, and everything, hugged and everything. And Mary's like, okay, that's enough, that's it. That was pretty funny. So, you know, so they eat, they have dinner. They actually had some pretty good food, and they had their first night together. Well, Brandon had asked the parents, or the grandparents, if he could spend the night in Mary's room. They said yes. Surprisingly, they said yes, but they said, of course, no hanky panky, basically. And so, like, Brandon and Mary go into the room, and they get ready for bed and stuff. And all of a sudden, you start hearing noises. There's like bugs. It looked like a iguana on top of the roof. And he went into the house. In the house, there was like all kind of spiders, big spiders and stuff, and bugs and cockroaches and stuff. It was pretty disturbing. Again, Mary's house is not nearly as bad as like Sheila's or Rose's, but yeah, cockroaches and stuff. Yeah, he was like, we need to get an exterminator out here quick. So Brandon and Mary had their first night together. Mary, he asked Mary, like, I know, like, I don't want to disrespect your parents, but can we can we basically do it? And Mary's like, I'm not ready to do it, and you can sleep on the opposite side of me. So Brandon was a little taken back by that because like they done so much over the phone over the years, and that he thought that coming in person, he thought he could just jump right into it. And Mary's just like, let's pump the brakes a little bit. So she made him sleep on the opposite side. They're on the same bed, on a twin size bed, but they're sleeping opposite each other, which is not comfortable. I cannot. I've tried that before, and it's just not comfortable at all. Not comfortable because your feet get in the way. You're gonna be kicking and stuff. Not happening. So yeah, that was Brandon and Mary. Next couple I want to talk is we did Kenny and Armando, Holly and Wayne, Danielle, Brandon and Mary. Oh, TJ and Kimberly. TJ and Kimberly. I'm not a fan of either one, to be honest with you right now. Remember last week, we left off with TJ and Kimberly having that big blowout because TJ did not finish the bathroom or set up the bathroom the right way. And, and Mary and Kimberly had a big freak out. Kimberly had a big freak out, and she called him a DICK because he was yelling and stuff and everything. And this episode, TJ was really offended by that. So he goes downstairs and talks to his family about that. And his family's like, she should be grateful. Like, you tried so hard, this, and that. And he's like, she called me names and everything. Kimberly's upstairs still crying and crying and crying about it. Like, he's supposed to be my partner. He's supposed to do this. He's supposed to do that. I don't feel the love from him. Then TJ comes back up and comforts her and is like, are you okay? And she's like, no. She's like, do you still want to marry me? I'm like, yeah, but we got to figure some stuff out. And then they get into another shouting match. And he's like, TJ was like, you called me a DICK. Like, what that language? And Kimberly was like, I cuss all the time. Like, that ain't nothing. And then she called him a bastard. And I was just like, oh, right, two wrongs don't make a right now. Like, name calling, like, they're already calling each other names. I mean, he called her a bastard. And she called him a DICK. And I'm just like, yeah, two wrongs don't make a right here. So both of them are already calling each other names. They're both screaming at each other. She's crying. He's frustrated. He's got his family behind him. It's just not looking good. Now, and I thought, like, this couple would work from India because, like, the parents do accept her. There's not a big age gap like there is with Jenny and Sumit and Jen and Rishi. But they got other problems. And I'm getting the sense that Kimberly is pretty high maintenance. And, she's still crying. She was like, "You're supposed to be my partner. We're supposed to be doing this. We're supposed to be doing that." Rah, 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 rah. She's like screaming on top of her lungs and crying. And I'm just like, come on now. Come on now. So yeah, this is gonna be a fun ride with them. So yeah, not again, yeah. That was TJ and Kimberly. Last couple, let's talk Kirsten and Julio. And she got me saying Julio when it's Julio. Kirsten and Julio. Now, Kirsten, remember, is from the Netherlands, and she's here in America, in New York, visiting Julio's family. And Julio didn't tell nobody that he got this beautiful girl, and didn't tell nobody in the family that he's moving to the Netherlands until recently. This episode, they get ready to go to a Halloween party. They go to a Halloween party. They're dressed up like devils, and they meet up with Julio's friends. Now, there's one friend that Julio has that does know the full scoop of him and Kirsten, and they got to meet with him. I forget his name. But they meet with the friend, and they talk and everything. And he had mentioned something about, like, why don't she just, like, stay here in America for a couple months or something. Kirsten does not want to live in America because on her way to the party, Julio had showed her some like bullet holes like by the house and stuff, and had said like a person had gotten shot, and there's like still bullet holes in the area like close to where they live, and that freaked her out. She was like in the Netherlands, this stuff don't happen. Like, like they must have like less violence in the Netherlands. I may have to check that out. I'm gonna have to research that. But so she really does not want to live here. And now like Julio's getting influenced by a lot of people in his ear recently, because they met with the family to play like the family was playing dominoes and just being loud because they're Dominican and stuff and everything. And she said she's not that loud and stuff. And yeah, the rest of the family had just found out that he's moving to the Netherlands, and in 3 weeks, I think his brother had said, or cousin had said, like 3 weeks, like when were you going to tell us? But I was just thinking 3 weeks is 3 weeks, or I don't think, no, it wasn't 3 weeks, it was 3 months. 3 months is plenty of time. I think that is 3 months is a pretty well notice. So, everybody's still shocked about that. So we going back to the Halloween party. They meet with the friend. The friend suggests that she stays here in America. And Kirsten was like, that's not what we discussed. I don't want to live here. And then the friend had said, like, well, if you guys get into a fight, there's nowhere for him to go. Then Julio had the nerve to say, yeah, that's true. How would you feel if we lived alone in the Netherlands? And I'm just like, what? Live alone in the Netherlands? You're moving to the Netherlands and you want to live alone because you're afraid to fight? And when they were in quarantine together, they had just like bickered about like, tidiness. I guess Julio's a little bit more cleaner than she is. But I mean, that's normal for couples. That's normal. He wants to live alone. And Kirsten was like, this was not our plan. Like, why would you come to the Netherlands to live alone? Like, well, you're supposed to live with your girl, basically. And I mean, yes, like, the Christian in me, the Jesus in me, is just like, realistically, you're supposed to wait till you're married before you move in. Not judging anybody who does, and I'm guilty of that myself, falling short of that. But still, but I see Kirsten's point though, because like I mean, he's moving to a different country, and it's not like they're here. Like, yeah, if it was here, it'd be different, but it's not like they're like 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away. He's moving to a completely different country to be with her, and he doesn't want to live with her. Makes no sense. Julio needs to really figure out what he's doing. He needs to quit being wishy-washy, quit hiding secrets, quit telling the family one thing, quit telling Kirsten another thing. You know, he needs to figure out, or he's going to lose Kirsten. Kirsten is beautiful, and I like Kirsten. Like I said, I like her. Like, she's the first like Eastern European chick in recent 90 Day that I like. That she's not as rude. She's really respectful. She's reserved. She's quiet. She loves Julio and everything, and she's willing to work for it. You know, unlike other ones that I mentioned before, like Yara and Natalie and stuff, like who come off as really rude. Kirsten don't come off rude to me. I love her, so I hope they figure it out. But anyway, guys, I'm sorry I'm a day late, but that's the end of my review. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see y'all again next week when we recap before the 90 days. So in a couple weeks, we'll be also recapping 90 Day, The Last Resort. The Last Resort couples are going through like some kind of therapeutic resort time to try to work on their relationships. As we all know, the couples are Jovi and Yara, Ed and Liz, Angela and Michael, Kalani and Asuelu, and Molly and Kelly. So I will be recapping that when it comes out on the 14th. But until then, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see y'all next week.